In the vast universe of Godzilla, where powerful, giant beasts reign supreme, who is the most brutal and cunning of them all? It is not a natural creature, but a nightmare reborn from steel, flesh, and blood. As darkness blankets the world, a bright red laser tears through space, accompanied by a piercing mechanical roar and the frantic whirring of a buzzsaw. Gigan emerges like a phantom, spreading ultimate terror to humanity. As the first cyborg kaiju, he knows no compassion, possessing only the instinct to slaughter and absolute obedience. The perfect fusion of cutting-edge alien technology and terrifying biological power has turned Gigan into the most formidable butcher. How many times has this ruthless assassin made the king of the monsters, Godzilla, bleed and struggle in life or death battles? Let's uncover the dark dossier of this mysterious mechanical destroyer with SciFiAddicts right now. To truly understand Gigan's brutality, we must travel back through time and space, far beyond the boundaries of the solar system, to the darkest corners of the universe. The galactic map opens, guiding us straight toward the mysterious M Space Hunter Nebula. This place was once home to an extremely cunning race of alien cockroaches. They found a giant, prehistoric flying dinosaur creature, a wild, majestic, and proud living entity. But instead of letting it develop freely, they commit a heinous crime, capturing it, completely brainwashing it, and performing devastating mechanization surgeries. Its natural flesh was cut away to make room for cold metal, and its nervous system was tampered with using control microchips, turning a living creature with a soul into a biological machine that knows only how to obey. Gigan was officially born from that bloody laboratory, a slave with no choice over his own destiny. But that wasn't all. When the Space Hunter race's invasion of Earth failed, Gigan was abandoned and subsequently fell into the hands of the Xelians, the cruel rulers of Planet X. Under the hands of the Xelians, Gigan once again underwent upgrades and genetic restructuring to become the ultimate weapon in their plan to destroy humanity. He was imprisoned in a state of hibernation for thousands of years deep beneath Earth's oceans, waiting for the awakening signal from his brutal masters. Gigan's fate is a series of tragedies, stretching from one galaxy to another, as he was continuously exploited by foreign forces as nothing more than a tool of war. His cruelty today is a mirror reflecting the brutality he had to endure from his creators. Stepping into the alien's biomechanical laboratory, we get to admire one of the pinnacles of killing technology. Let's dissect a three-dimensional model of Gigan to understand why this creature is the ultimate nightmare for every kaiju on Earth. The most horrifying and easily recognizable feature on Gigan's body is the giant buzzsaw running down his chest. Made of ultra-hard space alloy, this buzzsaw not only spins at a dizzying speed, but is also powered directly by the biological reactor inside his body. When closing in on an opponent, this saw acts as a mobile meat grinder, ready to tear through the thickest armor, even Godzilla's ultra-durable skin, leaving deep and painful wounds. But the brutality does not stop there. Look at Gigan's hands. Instead of regular fingers, he possesses giant, razor-sharp metal hooks like scythes of death. These claws are perfectly designed for impaling, hooking flesh, and pinning opponents down to drag them into his chest saw. In his upgraded version, these hooks were even replaced by nightmarish double chainsaws, multiplying his destructive capability. Next, look up at Gigan's head, where a unique ruby-red visor eye sits. This is not just a regular camera, but a highly concentrated energy transmitter. From this visor, Gigan can fire a blazing laser beam or a scattered energy beam resembling arrows of light, capable of causing temporary blindness and incinerating everything in its path. Additionally, the metal wings on his back not only allow him to fly at supersonic speeds within the atmosphere, but also act as sharp blades when he glides past targets. All of these weapons are seamlessly integrated into a biological body capable of self-regeneration and enduring extreme damage. The design philosophy of the alien races was truly ruthless, turning every single part of Gigan's body into a specialized killing tool, making him a destroyer with 0 blind spots. Spanning over half a century of existence, Gigan is not just a name that instills fear, but also a symbol of the endless creativity of tokusatsu filmmakers. Let's do a visual comparison to see the spectacular transformation of this cyborg across cinematic eras. Looking at the left side of the screen, we have the first version of Gigan, which debuted in 1972 during the Showa era. In this period, Gigan's design carried a classic and somewhat bizarre 1970s aesthetic. His body was somewhat chubby with green skin and golden scales, a large horn on his head, and most notably, a large horizontal ruby-red visor. His hook hands looked quite rudimentary, resembling 2 large static metal scythes. Although this design was simple due to the technological limitations of the time, it possessed a strange charm, laying a solid foundation for his reputation as a ruthless destroyer. Now, turn your eyes to the right side of the screen to admire a true revolution in design. This is the Millennium-era Gigan, appearing in the 2004 blockbuster Godzilla: Final Wars. This can be considered the coolest, most brutal, and most fan-favorite version to date. Gigan's entire body was completely restructured. The chubby physique of the past was replaced by a sleek, toned, and highly aerodynamic build with glossy, modern blue-black metal curves. The ruby-red visor eye is now elongated, sharp, and delivers a cold, deadly gaze. Notably, after being defeated and reborn as modified Gigan, his traditional hooks were upgraded into nightmarish, independently operating double chainsaws. Whenever the chainsaws move at high speed, they emit a wild roar, ready to grind down anything in their path. The difference between the two versions lies not only in appearance but also in their agility and combat speed, as the 2004 Gigan moves much more fluidly, decisively, and dangerously than his 1972 predecessor. Besides the silver screen, Gigan also has incredibly unique variations in comics and anime. In the comics published by IDW, Gigan is often portrayed with a rugged, spiky appearance and more complex mechanical details, highlighting his nature as an alien biological weapon. Meanwhile, in novels and recent short anime projects, Gigan has been outfitted with incredibly bold sci-fi futuristic designs, where nanotechnology and dark energy are deeply integrated into every fiber of his flesh. Gigan's evolution across eras is clear proof that a classic villain can continuously reinvent himself, adapting to the tastes of each generation of viewers, while keeping the brutal, unique essence that established his brand for decades. In the volatile world of monsters, Gigan is not a lone wolf. He operates as a pragmatic, cold mercenary, willing to ally with any force to achieve his slaughterous goals. Let's look back at some classic battles to see the calculated combat style of this cyborg. When sharing the battlefield with bizarre allies like Megalon during invasions of Earth, or teaming up with the three-headed dragon King Ghidorah to form a duo that spreads terror to humanity, Gigan always demonstrates incredible coordination. The combination of Gigan's brutal melee capabilities and Ghidorah's long-range destructive power, or Megalon's cunning, created incredibly overwhelming battle scenarios. However, this alliance was purely based on the mutual interests of the invaders, leaving no room for loyalty or sacrifice. But it is the bloody, close-quarters brawls with Earth's defenders where Gigan's bloodthirsty nature is most clearly revealed. Viewers certainly cannot forget the heated clashes between Gigan and the giant robot Jet Jaguar, and especially the king of the monsters, Godzilla. Gigan holds a very special and terrifying title. He is one of the very few enemies in entire cinematic history who has made Godzilla bleed the most, with his razor-sharp chest saw constantly spinning and his cold metal hooks. Gigan does not hesitate to plunge straight into brutal, hand-to-hand combat, leaving deep wounds on Godzilla's seemingly indestructible body. Gigan's recklessness, cunning, and death-defying combat style have turned every confrontation between him and the king of the monsters into a breathtaking life or death struggle, deeply engraving the name of this cosmic butcher into the minds of generations of fans. One of the greatest mysteries surrounding Gigan is his true biological origin before he was carved up by the cold blades of space technology. Who was he before he became a soulless killing machine? Let's explore some fascinating theories from the fan community to piece together a portrait of this creature's original form. Looking at hypothetical artwork from the community, we can envision Gigan's fully biological era as a prehistoric flying dinosaur hybridized with the characteristics of a bird of prey and a giant insect. Instead of a ruby-red visor eye, he once possessed the sharp, keen eyes of an apex predator, ruling the skies of a distant planet. The metal wings were originally flexible, majestic leathery wing membranes, allowing him to glide through the clouds to stalk his prey. And instead of the brutal chest saw, his chest area might have just been covered in thick, layered, horn-like scales, protecting his body from enemies' pounces. But the cruelty of fate stripped away everything natural about him. When captured by alien forces, Gigan was deprived of both his body and his soul to serve the purpose of invasion. This devastating mechanization process not only changed his appearance but also completely broke his free will, turning a wild creature into a butcher with an incredibly cold and ruthless psyche. Gigan's philosophy of life now revolves solely around the instinct of a professional, yet programmed, hunter. He has no compassion, knows no mercy or hesitation, and only silently and thoroughly executes commands of slaughter from his masters. The contrast between a majestic natural creature of the past and a soulless cyborg in the present only adds to Gigan's tragic yet terrifying allure, making him the darkest symbol of the destructive nature of invasive technology. Looking back at history, Gigan is not merely a minor villain in the Godzilla franchise. He is a monument, a unique icon representing the brutality, madness, and style of the tokusatsu era. The bizarre fusion of biological flesh and cold steel has deeply engraved the legacy of this cosmic butcher into the hearts of millions of fans around the world. No matter the version, Gigan's appearance always comes with the fiercest, most epic battles, leaving indelible impressions. Which of Gigan's moments impressed you the most? The bizarre, classic, Showa version, or the nightmarish, double chainsaw upgraded Millennium Warrior? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below so we can discuss. If you love this video and want to explore more fascinating kaiju profiles, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the Sci-Fi Addicts channel, and turn on notification so you won't miss any future journeys decoding the cinematic universe. Your support is a huge motivation for us to keep releasing more high-quality content. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, and see you in the next Monster Profiles.